In his lecture, Mental Diets, Neville Goddard reveals a truth that feels almost too simple to be powerful. The words we speak to ourselves, silently and repeatedly, shape the entirety of our lives. Not the occasional thought, not the big affirmations spoken aloud, but the constant, unseen stream of inner dialogue we carry throughout the day. This invisible narration is not only shaping how we feel, it's directing what we experience. Every human being talks to themselves. We do it automatically, habitually, without questioning it. Neville reminds us that it's not about stopping this inner chatter, it's about changing its direction. The idea is revolutionary in its clarity. Our inner conversations are creative acts. They are not private monologues. They are blueprints, and the world responds not to what we say outwardly, but to what we repeat inwardly with emotion and belief. Most people assume their thoughts follow their circumstances. If life is going well, they speak well of it. If something goes wrong, they rehearse frustration, worry, or blame. But what Neville proposes is the opposite. It's not that life causes your inner speech, it's that your inner speech causes your life. The key is awareness. We must become conscious of what we're telling ourselves throughout the day. The mind is constantly engaged in silent conversations with ourselves, with others, with imagined scenarios. And whatever we repeat with feeling, we animate into being. This truth is not theory, it's testable. A woman once approached Neville, frustrated by her employer's behavior. She believed he was overly critical and unfair. As they spoke, Neville gently revealed the truth to her. Her external conflict was simply the echo of her internal conversation. She admitted she constantly argued with him in her mind, so she changed the conversation. In her imagination, she began to hear him praising her, thanking her, recognizing her. Within days, his behavior shifted because her inner dialogue had changed. You see, people respond to what we whisper to them in secret. Inner talking, like seeds planted in a garden, does not disappear. It grows, and what we plant, whether fear or faith, complaint or gratitude, resistance or love, comes back to us multiplied. Most of us live unaware of this. We abandon ourselves to negative inner chatter, yet wonder why life feels chaotic or unkind. But the law is exact. The world is not judging you, it's reflecting you. What if we used our imagination consciously? What if, instead of rehearsing doubt, we assumed the role of the person we want to become and spoke from that version of ourselves? This is what Neville calls the practice of inner speech from fulfilled desire. You imagine you've already succeeded, already healed, already loved, and from that place, you carry on conversations with others in your mind. You hear yourself thanking them or being congratulated. You speak kindly to yourself as though the miracle has already happened. You allow those words to generate a new mood, and that mood begins to shape your outer life. There is no limit to this practice. You can do it for others too. In fact, Neville insists, every time you use your imagination lovingly on behalf of another, you are mediating God to them. But this requires discipline. You must become unwilling to feed the mind with words that do not align with the life you want. This is the mental diet. A negative mental diet may taste familiar. It allows us to justify anger, replay pain, or critique others. But its consequences are heavy. As Neville says, everything in the world bears witness to the use or misuse of man's inner talking. Inner words either bless or curse. They either build or destroy. The solution is not repression, it is replacement. You must choose new speech, speech from the end, from the place of the answered prayer. If you want harmony, speak it within. If you want abundance, speak it within. If you want healing, let your inner voice say what you would say if healing were already complete. This inner conversation becomes the word of God moving through you, and this word never returns void. It creates as it is spoken. The ancients understood this. They taught that speech and mind were the two divine gifts. When united, they produce the world. You and your inner word are one. To transform your speech is to transform your mind, and to transform your mind is to transform your life. So, what is your aim? Does your inner talking match it? If it does not, you are walking in contradiction, and the outer world, faithful as ever, will reflect that contradiction. The time to change is always now. Not after things improve, not once you're inspired, but now, because your future is made of the words you speak today. If you want a new result, you must speak from a new state. It is not enough to simply wish. You must become. You must speak as though you are already what you desire to be. And you must repeat this speech with love, consistency, and conviction. Eventually, the words take root, and when they do, your life begins to mirror your imagination. This is not superstition. This is law. It has always been law. If you are not pleased with your current experience, it is a sign that your mental diet needs changing. Starve the old conversations, feed the new ones, and do it with reverence. Do it with intention. Do it as a sacred act of creation, because the inner voice is not just talking, it is shaping, and your world is listening.